Hi, welcome back. In today's video, we would like to integrate the concept of named tuple with functions. Here, we are having our named tuple called a rectangle. It has three elements: width, height, and area. Okay? Then we are having a function called getRectangle. And whenever we call this function, we need to have two arguments. Then this function is going to calculate the area of the rectangle based on the passed arguments that are width and height respectively. So area equals width multiplied by height, and basically this function is going to return a rectangle named tuple with width, height, and area. So the output of this function is in the format of our named tuple. So this is how a function actually trying to return multiple values in a structured way. But how are we going to use that? Here, before we learned that if we want to have, for example, if we want to create an instance, we name the instance, for example, instance1 equal to rectangle, the name of our named tuple, and in parentheses we were having, for example, number 5, 10, and the area. If we wanted to calculate it ourselves, we would have written, for example, 50. Okay, but instead of creating an instance like this being equal to the name of our name tuple and then in parentheses having these three elements, okay, instead of doing that, my instance now equals to a call of function, and we are calling this getRectangle function with two values, width and height, and this function is going to return what we were supposed to have. Okay, rectangle 5, 10, 50. It is going to return rectangle, the name tuple, width, height, and area. All of them, the function has access to it because the width and height, we call the function with those numbers, so 5 and 10, it already has. And for the area, it just calculated the area here, okay? Width multiplied by height. So instead of writing the instance like this, we write down the instance, it is equal to a call of function, and that function is going to return what we need here, okay? Then after creating our instance, we are going to print in the output saying that, okay, the width is the name of the instance dot the name of the element, like always, the height, the name of the instance, like the name of the element, and the name of the instance, and then the name of the element. So when I run this code, we see it says width 5, height 10, and area 50. It's a very good example to see how we can integrate named tuple with a function. For example, here let me create another instance. So instance 2 get rectangle, and with these values, for example 10 and for example 15. So when I have this one, whenever we are creating the instance, right away we are calling the function. So compiler starts executing this part, calculating the area and returning the name tuple that needs to be equal to my instance. Then I use the same line here, but instead of the rect, which is the first instance, I write down the name of my second instance, which is instance 2. So when I run the code, this time it says width 10, height 15, and then area 150 based on the calculation that the function did for us. Thank you for watching.